Hey everyone, today I am back as you have requested with a sort of tips and tricks on the camp building and how you could make the most out of your basically budget as well as your creative limitations, so to speak. And the first thing that I can give you right off the bat is just where to start off building your camp, because yes, I do know that most people prefer having, for example, I don't know, water near their camp so that they can put down some water purifiers that will give them some nice, extra water to drink and whatnot. But if you actually go mostly for cosmetic looks, and if you don't mind, for example, just placing your water purifier into, regular soil and having a bit less output, then you need to look around your map and find locations like, for example, this one, which is right here, up in the pretty much top right corner of the map. Here is a little bit of a shack here, which is kind of in a nice shape, it's not broken or anything, maybe apart from that place over there. But it has some, static crate locations, some junk you can pick up over time and whatnot. And the best thing about it, of course, is that you can actually place your camp down here and incorporate it into your build. And if I were to place this camp here, I could actually build inside here. So that would spare me basically an entire building's budget right there. Because I would just need to, place down some workbenches maybe and some other decor. I'm pretty sure I could also scrap some of these if they were in the way. But yeah, basically around the map you can find a bunch of these pre-built structures that are, if they are not marked by a location like this, you are 99% able to build around them and incorporate them into your build. And this here is what I'm going to show you next, is where we are going, because I found one of the most interesting kind of startup locations for something like this, and I'm going to show you just what you can do with such a place. So I'll meet you there. If you are in general just looking for a nice little flat spot to kind of build your camp at, I can definitely suggest going along the rail tracks, because as you can see, you can actually find structures more often alongside those. For example, this one here, this is also something you could build it if you wanted to, than pretty much any other thing, because, train tracks are in general just the sort of direction of civilization and whatnot. But as you can see, right now I'm going down here, and I think this is actually a statically empty raider sort of setup that was here even before Wastelanders came around. And yeah, this is also something you can build at. And this is actually, well, not this specifically, but the one that's right there is what I kind of had my eyes on to build something right there. And that's what I'm gonna do to showcase just how much it actually matters to have a proper camp place or spot for your camp to build at. Because yeah, this is actually a structure I can incorporate if I am lucky or if I'm good enough. I'm just gonna have to be careful with where I place my camp, because if I were to place my camp on the ground, I might not be able to build, for example, at the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place my camp on that pipe right there, because the camp area that you can build at is actually a sphere. So, it's gonna be a bit less wide on the bottom for this reason, but for that reason I'll be able to build at the top. So let's start off and see what we can do for this location, shall we? Alrighty, and I am done with the base structure, and I know it's, kind of one of those things when how to draw an owl and then you see a circle and then the next step is the owl is pretty much done. So I understand that for most people it kind of looks like that. So I'm just gonna kind of drive through how I did this step by step. First of all, I started off with this foundation here. It needed a lot of alignment, because what I needed to do to be perfectly, and it's still not perfect by the way, but the way it needed to be aligned is that if I go up here and start building foundations or floors from here, then it lets me put these down here, because if they were to touch any more of this pylon here, it would not let it be placed, because it would say it's intersecting with something else. But if I put it any higher than that, over that, then I would bang my head into this one and I couldn't actually step inside here. So this was the only possible way I could have aligned that one over here. So yeah, basically I just put down these 2x1 and 2x2 foundations. And as you can see, where I couldn't actually place down these defensive things that you can actually see at the defenses section, just go there. And it's basically these things. So these actually snap to the side of these 2x2 like this. But those where I couldn't snap them, I either used the concrete guard post or this shelf thing, or maybe even these stash boxes, because they actually stack on each other quite nicely. And it, goes around these big ass kind of coal or water or something along those lines, storage containers, and it goes all the way through here, so that there is a really nice view here. But it will get better, so just bear with me. But I couldn't place down the flooring, and that's why you see the carpet and the use of these, I don't know, floor mats, I guess you could call them. As you can see, there is no actual flooring beneath it, so this is how I actually overcame it. And this is another tip I can give you: if the environment doesn't let you to place it down, because I think it was this pylon basically interfering with it, I just covered it with these. It a bit more budget, but overall I think it's better than having somewhere you can just fall down from your place. So yeah, I started to build up some of the workstations here. There are gonna be more coming yet. Another nice view that we've got over here. Look at that. There is the top of the world, and there is the power plant. And you can actually go down here now, which I connected this from this side. And just to make it less like a floating thingy, I actually put down some foundations or support pylons there. This is just for my water that I'm building here. So once we are going back up, and this is where it gets interesting, because I actually went this over with above the trains and with other few supporting beams and a bit of steering all the way to the ground. I managed to get an overheading arc over the trains, which you can actually step down here and then jump back up if you want to, because why wouldn't you? I mean, that's a nice possibility to do. Again, some more supporting beams towards there so that it doesn't look as much floating. I could have placed some over there, but I connected it to this thing instead, which is gonna be just fine, I feel like. I need to place some more railings over here, but once you go up here, now you can see that we're actually gaining some height, and this is why I needed to place my camp higher than the basically the ground, because if I were to place it to the ground, I could not have placed this down here. This is already would be outside of the building range. But even better of a view. This is just kind of showing you how beautiful this game can be at some point. Again, we just go along again here, and just a few of those more improvised railings there. An improvised stair, which I made with 2 foot lockers and one of those I don't know what you call this, wooden stash boxes. So you can actually walk up here. There are again some floor mats, because I couldn't place down a foundation or a flooring here, so I just used these and fill them up with the brewing stations. But you can also, of course, come along here. I still need to place some railings over here, and it kind of connects over to this side, and I'll place down some more stuff over here. But yeah, this was already pre-built, so this is the crane or something along those lines that I don't know what they call crane, I guess. And as I said, or as I showed, I connected these with these tires. I'm trying to just showcase different type of stairs that you can make instead of those food locker and the whatnot, because these work just as fine. I think the food lockers are actually easier to traverse, but these I think look better. They look more, I don't know, in place with all the rest. And I'm gonna set up something of a guard post over here, because we got a nice view over this area as well. And you just kind of see how this basically just one camp, I can make this entire big structure kind of inhabited. And the last but not least, we have a part that's coming along here. The reason I did that is because this little part here, this is actually pre-built, and you cannot access it unless you actually build up all the way up to here. And this is something I placed down, but you can see this is not something that I placed. This is already here, and we kind of nicely incorporated it into the build. So this is pretty much all just part of our structure now, which looks really nice in my opinion. So next up, I'm gonna jump ahead and I'm gonna do some decorations and just making it the theme kind of fit in place with everything. And I'll see you back there. Alrighty, and we are done. So I'm gonna start from the more boring parts of the camp. By the way, just a heads up, I actually didn't even use all of my budget up. It's about, what, 4/5 out of the entire thing. So, this is not even a fully complete build just yet. I might actually decorate it to some sort of a theme like Raider or something if you guys want to see something like that. But for now, let's just see and how much we've actually managed to do so far. So there wasn't really much changed over this area. I did, however, add a little bit of a shack over here. I might actually fill up the rest of the budget with some crops in this little part. And this is basically just a sort of a welcoming hub, you know, like a how do you say this? It's the port, I guess. And yes, you go up here. I put up some lights so that it can be seen well in the night as well. Some scrap boxes, a little bit of a crafting area up here. The main generator that just kind of fuels the entire thing with energy. The rest of the crafting stations up there. Then we are moving up. Again, you know, didn't want to leave it completely empty, so I just put down a little bit of a chill out area. I might put some more decorations over here as well. Then we are going up yet, and I planted up something here. Never mind that. And I'm just gonna go forward, and as you can see, the conduits are following the kind of line of the stairs, and here it kind of gets off, and it also fuels the contamination shower here, which is useful if somebody can actually reach this high. You know, a bit of an incentive for people to wander up to the higher parts of this place. And the guard tower, as I said, I actually set it up, you know, fully covered, some turret to aid your help. A little bit of a lunchbox here so that you don't starve to death, and the gorgeous view that I've been talking about earlier. But we are nearly not done yet, because yes, there was this area that you already saw, and that area for the brewing stations, but a little bit of Easter egg, so to speak, because when I was wandering around my camp, I actually noticed that despite these walls are not being, you know, penetratable from this side, if you jump up to the roof, look at that. Yes, indeed, there is a hole on the roof, and this wall that I was showcasing earlier is actually penetratable from the inside as well as that one, but this is more safe. We'll get back to that later. This is a little bit of a secret area, as I've said, you know, kind of two people living in here. They must have marsupial, of course. But this is also the vendor station, so if somebody actually comes to visit my camp to buy something, then they need to find this place to actually get the good stuff. I know I'm a bit of a meanie, but, you know, they feel more rewarded for that. My prices are pretty good anyway. I'll probably put up some decorations here as the display case. And this is how you get back, by the way. So jump on the table, jump up here. I think even people without marsupial can get out of here, by the way. I tried to make it so these lamps on the wall also serve as a sort of a anchor point, and as the arrow suggests, then Mr. Santa's butt is gonna serve us another anchor point. And you should be able to jump up here, and we are out. As you can see, I cannot go back here, but we don't need to go back, because then we can just, you know, go around again that way. Yeah, and I couldn't build any higher because that's the top of my build limit. But yeah, that pretty much is the whole camp. Kind of lots of sort of tips and whatnot incorporated in this one, I feel like. You know, just using the pylons, you know, just using existing structures to kind of build your thing around it, and then thus saving a lot of budget. I mean, you see how much budget I had left. I could even probably decorate the entire inside of that thing properly, or build up some more houses down there. I had the space for it as well. So yeah, I do get it that it was sort of more of a focusing on what can you do with pre-existing builds, but I hope you guys will find this informative and helpful, and also a bit of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what you guys can do with your builds with these tips, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.